Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to introduce the chief guest for this session, Honorable Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena. Honorable Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena is presently serving as the 11th Speaker of the 9th Parliament of Sri Lanka. Mr. Abeyewardena had his education at the Central College in Telitjewala and Rahula College, Mathura. Mr. Abeyewardena entered the University of Colombo in 1965 and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1968. He also served as the chairman of the Paranthan Chemical Corporation from 1977 to 1983 and as the chairman of the Lanka Dairy Development Foundation from 1988 to 1990. During his successful career in the public service, Mr. Abeyewardena was elected as the chairman of the National Management Assistant Association of Sri Lanka as well. Mr. Abeyewardena made his political debut in 1983 when he was elected as a Member of Parliament with a substantial majority in the by-election held for the Hakmana electorate in the southern province of Sri Lanka. He then served as a member until 1987. Thereafter, Mr. Abeyewardena became the chairman of the Southern Provincial Council in 1993 and also nominated as the chief ministerial candidate for the Southern Province in the same year. He became the chief minister of the Southern Province, a hallmark of his political career, in 1994 and served in the said post until 1999. Subsequently, he entered the parliament in 2000 after contesting as a candidate in the 2000 general election and was again appointed as the Chief Minister of the Southern Province, a position served until 2001. Mr. Abeyewardena entered the Parliament subsequent to contesting in 2001 general election and he served as a Member of Parliament until 2004. In 2004, he was appointed the Deputy Minister of Health and Nutrition until 2005 when he was appointed to the Cabinet of Ministers as Cultural Affairs, National Heritage, a position he served until 2010. Subsequent to the 2010 general election, Mr. Abeyewardena served as the Minister of Agriculture until year 2015 and thereafter appointed the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, a position he resigned in 2015 itself. After his resignation, Mr. Abeyewardena became a member of the newly formed Sri Lanka Podujana Perumana and served as a Member of Parliament till 2020. During this period, he served as the Cabinet Minister of Industries and Commerce in 1918 and as the State Minister of Irrigation and Rural Development in 2020. Having been elected as a Member of Parliament in the 2020 general election, Mr. Abeyewardena was elected as the 11th Speaker of the 9th Parliament on 20th August 2020, a position he serves to date. I now invite Honorable Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena to deliver the convocation address.
Respected Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Deans, Directors, Academia, dearest students and parents. It gives me great pleasure to be addressing here you at this prestigious occasion on the 26th convocation of SLEET today. which will carry a nostalgic memory for years for the future. SLIT is the largest non-state degree awarding institute in Sri Lanka, offering programs in the field of computing, engineering, architecture, business management, quantity surveying, law of physiology, education, biotechnology, and hospitality management. I am made to understand a new era of academic programs are being discussed and are in the early stages of design to be brought about in the future. Since its inception in year 1999, over 39,000 students have studied with SLIT, with a remarkable employability of 98% of its graduates here and abroad. SLIT has been associated with prestigious foreign affiliations and universities of global repute, such as Queensland University, Australia, and Liverpool John Moores University in the United Kingdom. I would also like to observe that Sri Lanka's ambition to become a global education hub is within our sight. Observing the success of higher education institutes of high quality and prestigious global collaborations. Dear students and friends, there is no secret that Sri Lanka is undergoing very stressful economic conditions. Today, we are grappling with the balance of payment crisis as the COVID-19 pandemic grips the whole world, resulting in global economic carnage. The realities of today's economic landscape dictates and demands a shift in Sri Lanka economic model to a knowledge and research-based one. Already, information communication technology export figures are standing as $1.5 billion annually, and the government is making painstaking yet ambitious effort to bring the technology-based advanced economy to $3 billion by year 2025. SLIT has contributed immensely to the growth of Sri Lanka's IT industry, which has become the fourth largest export industry in the country. And it goes without saying that amount of contribution your institution might be able to provide a transforming Sri Lanka's economic landscape to a technology-driven, high-earning paradigm in the years to come. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight some of the strategies that have been carefully designed to transform Sri Lanka's knowledge-based economy. Firstly, there is an ambitious digitalization drive in the state sector, which the policymakers believe will move Sri Lanka into huge strides. On ease of doing business, converting the public sector to a paperless, efficient, and transparent mode of service delivery. As you would know, Sri Lanka is often identified as a country where doing business is difficult and time-consuming. Regional peers like Bangladesh have remarkably moved up the ladder for doing business, purely through policy determination and digitalized transformation. And let it be reminded that Sri Lanka is not too late to take this path to create an enterprising nation embracing technology. This is no doubt that current digitalization attempts will help to a great extent in country's transformation to a developed nation in time to come. Secondly, there is enormous focus on creating a startup ecosystem where new technological initiatives, concepts, and ideas can be harnessed, groomed, then modeled into a financial platform. Patented and marketed to the world over. There are ample examples from the world that small countries with limited market space can prosper through the innovation model, and I have no doubt that this is the way towards for Sri Lanka as well. This will create young scientists, patent holders, academics, and new generation of young entrepreneurs who will take this country forward to its rightful destination. Currently, there is a program to foster startup ecosystem, creating industry, university, and economic collaboration in all around the country, which will provide dividends for generations to come. Thirdly, the government at the highest policy level has taken futuristic decisions to create technology zones all around the country. There will be a technology zone coming up in Galle, Kurunegala, Nuwara Eliya, Haberna, and Kandy. I am made to understand that these zones will be technologically dissemination centers with cutting-edge technological frontiers such as artificial intelligence, robotics, information communication, technology, data sciences, among many other advanced industries, and will function as science labs, creating world-class spaces, attracting local and foreign talent alike. I understand that there is a significant global attention already, with a keen interest to invest in these new upcoming technology zones. Sri Lanka has already declared a proposal to attract digital nomads to the country to foster technology ecosystem, and believe the technology zones will immensely contribute and complement the complex innovation ecosystem being planned. The reason why I mentioned some of these new initiatives the government has undertaken is to underscore one of the fundamental needs to facilitate the system being created, that is the human resource that is necessary to create this technology-driven society and the new economic landscape it promises. Institute like SLIT would contribute immensely to create its talent pool to facilitate the transformation of Sri Lanka as a technology-driven economy, and at the same time to position Sri Lanka as an education hub providing world-class quality tertiary education. Sri Lanka has embarked the ambitious development initiatives like Colombo Port City project, and what this means is that our country is positioned better than ever to be a service provider as a global educational hub, not only to service the region but beyond. These are areas SLIT must be focusing as its future plans. SLIT has promising history in relation to achievement in Sri Lanka's education landscape. And some of your graduates have become world-class entrepreneurs with startups which have become successful business ventures like Aramca and many more such prestigious success stories. We need more success stories on these models as our country today. Your successful collaboration, the accreditations with world-class professional organizations such as Institutes of Engineering and Technology United Kingdom, Computer Society of Sri Lanka, Engineers Australia, Australian Computer Society, and Royal Institute of British Architects, I believe I believe it would become invaluable to the upliftment of quality education in this country and to contribute to the national economy in vital human resources creation, and ultimately the position Sri Lanka as a global education hub. I would like this opportunity to congratulate the academic staff of SLIT and wish you students all the very best for the truly bright future for yourself and your country. Thank you very much.